we have a stock that has been buzzing in trade in the last couple of trading sessions, up more than 40% in just these two trading sessions. That was Tejas Network. Today, a bit of a subduedness because the stock has already seen such a good run up. But even yesterday, it was trading at record high levels. Why was that? Because they reported a strong set of numbers from the company that we saw in terms of a strong revenue growth. But what more is aiding the growth of the company? To talk about that, we are joined by the management of the company. We have Anand Athreya, the CEO and MD, as well as Arnob Roy, a CEO and Executive Director at Tejas Networks, joining in with us. A very good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in with us. And, Anand, I'm going to start with you. And, let's just talk a bit more about Q4, because on a sequential basis, obviously, you've doubled your revenue. We do note that, there's some benefit that has come in from the BSNL execution of that order. So, was that entire incremental sales owing to this execution of the order, or were there any other factors that were coming into play?
So, thank you. Thanks for hosting us. Good morning. Yes, we had strong revenue growth in Q4, and that is primarily driven by BSNL, but there are also other customers that we delivered to. So, in general, we executed very well across all of our product segments.
Hi, morning. If I could just get you in on the conversation as well. Because even in the next 3 quarters, when you are executing the BSNL order, can we expect similar EBITDA margin run rate of, say, 13%? Or do you think there's scope of further expansion?
So, look, we normally don't give guidance on margins, but we'll always strive to build better products, cheaper, and manage our expenses. Yeah, and that's going to be the focus of the company.
Arnob, morning. I also wanted to understand what the overall outlook is when it comes to the order book. Does that stand around 8,200 crores? How much of this is related to BSNL?
Yes, of course, a good part of it is related to BSNL, but there's a significant amount of order book which is for other customers and for our wireline products. And I also wanted to mention that the order book is mainly the business that we have won and tenders that we have won, we have to execute. But a good part of our business is also what we call run rate business, which are purchase orders which come in a quarter and have to be during the financial year and which are executed, throughout the year, right, in the next quarter and stuff like that. So this is only one part of the business outlook that you see. It's like a tenders or a fixed business one which we have to execute.
Right. Also what we want to understand a bit more in terms of the BSNL order is expected to be executed over the next 3 quarters, like we were talking. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but then beyond that, what is going to be happening? What should we be expecting from the company?
Yeah. So, there is as I said, we have an order book and we see a good pipeline of business opportunities coming in the coming year. In India, of course, there are a lot of 5G upgrade opportunities which are there, as well as the expansion, the investments in terms of broadband, in terms of upgrading the backbone capacity of the private operators as they expand their broadband services and the 5G networks. So those are all great opportunities for us in India. Then there's BharatNet, which is again a very strong opportunity where we have very relevant products. That is just in India, but internationally, there's a lot of focus in growing our business and similar kind of opportunities with our products where we leverage the broadband expansion that is happening in US, Europe, as well as the 4G, 5G developments which are peaking in a lot of the emerging markets across the world. So those are all great opportunities for us, which we want to leverage fully during this current financial year.
Did point out BharatNet 3. Tell me, what is the opportunity size? The government has already started the process. When will the orders start trickling in?
Yeah, so as of now, the tender specifications are out and all the prospective bidders are going through those questions and clarification process. So that's going on. As soon as that finishes, we expect the tendering to happen, maybe in this quarter or early next quarter. And then I think once the tendering is out, I think towards the later of this year or early next year, that's when the revenues and the supplies are going to start. And that's the timeline that we are looking at. And in terms of the opportunity size, as I said, for our active equipment, it's still a significant number. We see, total addressable size of several $100 million, above $500-600 million. But, is yet to be seen based on the final bill of material that gets finalized.
Anand, currently you're executing BSNL 4G projects. Has there been any talk on BSNL 5G?
There is an upgrade, that's going to happen after the 4G gets deployed. So that's an opportunity. And then, the 5G radios will come after that, and that's a separate tender. And we hope to participate and win that too.
Anand, I just want to know one more point. Now there's that move of overall the globe moving towards replacing these Chinese telecom equipments. What's your thought on that? Any traction or, inquiries that you're getting in on that front, or anything interesting that we should be, looking at on that?
Yeah, look, I think that's an opportunity to be another credible supplier, not only to India, but to the world. So we see that as an opportunity, and yes, there are interests from other, private telcos or other telcos in the world. In fact, we are participating in the proof of concept with one of them. And, as we execute BSNL, we hope to get a lot more interest and opportunities in other service providers, not only in India, but also around the world.
And if I may add, this replacement opportunities is also for a lot of our wireline equipment, where operators across the world are in the process of refresh or replacing all of them. One is stopping growth on this equipment and building on top of that, as well as replacing many of them. And we see a lot of those opportunities that get accessible to us. So Anand, I had to mention the wireless equipment, and as well as the wireline, there's a significant opportunities in this replacement.
Curious to ask, can any of you, Anand or Arnab, can choose to answer this? Given that Vodafone Idea has recently concluded their fundraise, they say they're going to be using the funds for 4G and 5G expansion. Have there been any initial talks with them that you guys have had?
Look, we cannot reveal, the customer's name, but all I can say is there is a lot of interest with, the private or non-government service providers in India and elsewhere.
Right. So you're not divulging any names. Of course, we understand that. But any sense in terms of a timeline or what this could potentially look like?
So look, I think, again, we are participating. Now we have seat at the table because we have a complete portfolio. And, I hope, my belief is that once we begin to execute BSNL, which is actually well underway, I think a lot of the other service providers will open up. So in terms of timeline, I would say, later this year, next year, calendar year, is when we can hope to see things coming in.
Okay. Arnab, I just want to know one thing. There were those chip shortage issues which were going on. Has that been resolved, or, are we seeing a reduction at least in the problem over there? And any thoughts that you have in Tata's entry also coming into the semi-conductor chip manufacturing space? How do you see that benefiting the company?
Yeah. So the chip shortage problem, which came from COVID, I think we are seeing the tail end of that. Right now, a lot of the supplies the supply shortages have gone away. Lead times have reduced significantly. A few of them have long lead times, but I think those are all predictable. I mean, they are not wild swings in terms of lead times or supply quantity. So from that point of view, we are able to plan our supply chain much better. So that's the first part. Second is regarding Tata's investment. The Tatas are investing a lot in terms of semiconductor manufacturing. But and as far as we are concerned, our subsidiary Sankhya Labs, they are, they have a strong investment in semiconductor development. A lot of the chips that they actually design and manufacture are used in some of the existing satellite communication equipment, and some of the newer chips that are designing. I think subsequently, when we evolve our products, we hope to leverage them in building a lot more efficiencies in our product out of whatever semiconductors are coming out from there.
Right. And Anand, just one more question is in terms of overall, yes, we're seeing a very good growth. FY24 has managed to see a very good growth this time. And obviously, our revenue stand at around 2,300 crores. FY25, FY26, if you could give us an indication in terms of what is the growth rate that one could expect, where do you see the revenues headed, given that you already have a strong order book?
Yeah, so look, we don't normally give guidance, so I can't give you a number, but all you can expect is that we will continue to execute flawlessly. The supply chain is managed extremely well under good control. And then we have a healthy order book, so you can expect us to execute to that order book and add more to the kitty as we go.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been interesting understanding how the business is working as well as the latest updates from Tejas Networks. So good to have you both on ET Now.
Thank you for hosting us. Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.